Alrighty, welcome back everyone to your favorite Klaviyo email marketing YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about something that I think is really, really important for e-commerce email marketing in general, email design. Okay, so I'm going to be kind of giving you guys a little crash course on some emails we've made. I'm going to be breaking down exactly what makes them high converting, what makes a good email, what makes it convert, what makes it look good and look aesthetically pleasing, and what makes people kind of actually drawn in to read your email. Because I've seen so many emails, I do tons of audits on e-commerce brands that just don't cut it. They just don't make any sense. They're just massive walls of text. They're not intriguing to look at. They don't convert. So I'm going to tell you and kind of explain through actual examples that my team has made at my agency what makes a good email. Okay. So if you're new here, welcome in. If you're coming back, welcome back. But my name is Philip Moldavanu. Why should you listen to me in 10 seconds? Well, I run an email and SMS marketing agency working specifically with direct-to-consumer e-commerce brands. I've worked with over 60 different brands up to this point, brands, six-figure brands, seven-figure brands, eight, as well as nine-figure e-commerce brands who are doing over 100 million a year. We send millions of emails for our clients every single month. And we have a design team that I would say is one of the best in the industry. And I'll show you why in a second here. So really kind of like impromptu video. I don't have like a set agenda. I'm just going to kind of walk and talk, if you will, just kind of let you guys know what we look for in emails, what our design team was doing and thinking with these emails and whatnot. Okay. So email design is really important, right? I could go into an account and just overhaul their design, right? And not even touch their strategy, not touch their sign up form, like don't even touch anything else. And we'd still be able to have a huge impact just off of the design itself. Okay. And I have tons of tests where literally just changing the design improves conversion rate, improves click-through rate, improves everything, right? So first things first, right? What's the first thing you want to keep in mind when it comes to actual design? Well, the first thing is you'll notice in some of these emails that we've made, right? What's the common theme? What is the common theme, right? There is not a whole lot of text in these emails. Okay. We're not listing out massive paragraphs of text. We don't have multiple sentences in one go. They're very easy to digest. They're easy to look at, right? The average shopper, you have to understand, and I've said this before on my channel, if you guys, have seen my videos before, the average shopper has a super short attention span, right? It's a fight to get them to engage, and it's a fight to capture their attention for more than like 2 seconds, right? People don't really read emails anymore. They just kind of skim through them really quickly. So you want to make sure that your emails are straight to the point and they're concise, okay? Which leads me to my next point. You'll notice first thing we do in all of these emails is we tell them what the actual message is of the email, right? What is the message? It should always be the headline. And if you're giving away an incentive, if you're giving away a code of any sort, right? It can be a discount, it can be a dollar off amount, it could be, if someone signed up to enter a giveaway on the pop-up, right? Whatever it is, even if it's not a welcome email, whatever the actual topic of the email is, needs to be front and center in very short, concise text, in very large text with not a whole lot of clutter around it. Okay, so us versus them. Immediately when you open the email, you instantly know what's going on here, right? I see a lot of people they just have an image as the hero image, and then they get into the text and what the email's about. And it's like most people are clicking off of that, right? And not to mention, I have to actually like go in and like read the text and read the paragraph to understand what I'm even seeing, right? You always need a clear headline and subheading in the actual email, telling people what they're reading before they even have a chance to click off. Okay, so that's the first thing. If you're delivering any type of incentive, if you're kind of launching a new product or any type of main messaging that you want people to know, especially for discounts, always make the code and the call to action extremely high up in the email. You'll notice another common theme in these emails. The call to action is always the first thing we see, right? Even if it's not a discount, we're still showing the call to action first, right? A how-to guide, we're still showing that first, right? Because people, again, have super short attention spans. And I've tested this. When you put the discount or when you put the main message further down in the email and have people have to scroll to find it, naturally conversion rates just go down, right? I guarantee you, if you're watching this and you have a welcome email with your discount code like towards the bottom of the email, what we call below the fold being everything you can see without scrolling. If your code's below the fold, literally change nothing else in the email, just move the discount code above the fold so people can see it without having to scroll. I guarantee you that alone, you'll see an increase in conversion rate and place order rate on that email, right? So yeah, always discount code and button super, super high up in the email. It's the first thing people see. There's no question about it. They don't have to look for it. They don't have to take any brain power whatsoever to find that code, okay? So make sure you're always doing that. If it's a welcome email, right? You never want to have a generic code like welcome 10 or welcome 20 or, whatever, right? You want to have a code like welcome KZ8FL, something random, it's still a static code, like it's the same code for everybody. But we've noticed that when you install and you use codes on emails that are like welcome 10, just generic, when you later on in the flow try to say, hey, you have 24 hours left to claim your discount before it expires, or hey, this is your last chance, people just don't care, right? They just see right through it. They know you're lying, and it just doesn't have the same effect, right? So we've noticed that making the code welcome KZ8FL or welcome XV99, the shopper thinks, oh snap, that code was made just for me. Like that's a unique code. And when you say, hey, your code's expiring, they're going to take you a lot more seriously. And we've actually seen a small bump in placed order rate by just changing this code, right? So that's not really a design thing, but definitely make sure you're doing that. Okay. Also, you'll notice call to actions, right? So call to actions in emails are extremely important. The more call to actions, the better. Okay. Ideally, you want your first call to action to be super high up. You should always have call to actions in the bridge section, and then you should always have call to actions towards the end of the email, right? So that's what you want to do there. If you're showing products, which you 100% should be, whether it's products, whether you're showing categories, right? You always want your call to actions to be under every single product or every single category you show. Do not show a product without a call to action. Okay. Again, the more call to actions you show, typically the higher your placed order rate and the higher your conversion rates will be on your emails. Okay. So you'll see, and we actually have a typo here. This email right here didn't go in, just for clarification. But this should be shop now, obviously. But you'll notice every single product has its own call to action, right? Shop now, shop now, shop now, shop now, not show now, shop now. Okay. And same thing here, right? We're showing a product, we're showing a call to action, showing a product, showing a call to action, and so on, right? And you see the common theme here. Okay. So make sure you're doing that, and make sure you have call to actions everywhere in the email. Don't just put them at the top, right? Every time you give people information, put a call to action under it, right? Remind them what they're there to do. They are there to click the button, go to the site, and purchase. That's the ultimate goal of email marketing in general, right? Of retention marketing. We want people to purchase. We're not just sending emails for our health. Obviously, there's a whole another component to it where we want to make sure the brand equity and the brand perception is high. But at the end of the day, we're trying to facilitate a purchase and a sale here, right? That's what we want. Okay, so that's the one thing I have to say about call to actions. Now, when it comes to what you want to put in your emails, right? You always want, especially for like welcome emails or anything where it's kind of like a first impression of your brand with a shopper. Anytime you're doing like a win back campaign and these people haven't heard from you in a year plus or whatever it is, right? You always want to do two things. Well, actually, I'll just run you through this welcome email here. Let's just pick a random one. Let's just do this one, right? Discount code button super high up. We are not using header buttons. So here's another thing I forgot to mention that applies for all emails, not just welcome emails. You don't want header buttons ever. Okay. Header buttons kill conversions. I think I have a random, like, where is it? Yeah, look, here's a random email I just screenshotted before I made the video that was just sitting in my inbox, but I actually thought that it was perfect to highlight this example. Do not ever have header buttons in your emails. Okay. I have a whole nother separate tutorial on email design on my channel if you want to watch it, where I actually design an email live in front of you. But in that video, you'll also hear me say, never include these. What these do, people will open the email, they'll just see a button and they'll just click it instantly. Remember, people have short attention spans, right? They're just trigger happy. They'll just click it and they'll go to your site, which normally is a great thing. Normally we want people on our site. But in this case, this person they just saw a button and clicked it. They didn't see whatever your main incentive was or whatever the main idea was that you were trying to portray, right? So like, for example, this brand right here, if we had header buttons here, not a large majority, but a good amount of people who would have purchased and would have actually responded to this code, they would have just saw a button here, clicked it, and not seen your 10% off or whatever it is, right? That's just kind of how it goes, right? So never include those. You'll notice all of these emails, we do not have anything at the top of the emails. Okay, that's a very basic thing that I hope all of you guys can really just start to act on. A lot of you might be already doing it, but make sure you never include header buttons, right? Also, in welcome emails, the ultimate goal here, right, is to convert a warm shopper, a warm lead, into a customer, right? They signed up for your list. They're obviously pretty interested. Now it's your opportunity to nurture them into becoming a customer. You do that by number one, giving them a discount. So discount code button, super high up, very clear to them what the next step is. Stimulating hero image. This applies for all emails. The first impression of the email should be stimulating, right? It should draw people in. It should be bright. It should be an action shot or a lifestyle image, depending on what you sell, if it's possible to do that, right? Bottom line is hook people in with that first welcome email, right? People, I don't know if this is like bad to say, but people's brains are just kind of numb nowadays. I mean, mine included, right? That's just how it is with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, like whatever it is, right? People are they're on so many different platforms. They're seeing so many stimuli on a daily basis that people have just become kind of numb to communication and numb to graphics and visuals, right? So it's very important that the first impression hooks people in. So you'll notice in these emails, the first impression is always bright. It's always stimulating. It's always a clear action shot or a clear shot of somebody doing something, right? So that's what you want in the hero section, at least. Now, when it comes to the other parts of the email, there's really a couple of components that make a good email and a good welcome email specifically, right? So first of all, you have your discount code. Okay. You have your incentive, you have your button and your call to action super high up. That's number one. Number two, you have a captivating hero section. Great. You also have social proof, publications the brand has been in. If you've been in any type of publication, always put it in visible view so people can see that. That helps reassure people. We're always showing products and they always have a call to action. We're always showing unique selling propositions. What sets this brand apart? Why are you different? Why should someone purchase from you as opposed to anybody else? Right. And the way you're displaying that is not with massive paragraphs. It's with icons, images, graphics. This is a perfect way to do it, right? This is everything the brand covers right here. Okay, here's another perfect example of how we did it. Where is it? This is Dakini. This is mass-produced brands. You put this in a nice bigger column. You color it in with check marks instead of X's, right? Pretty simple, but you'd be surprised at how much this actually increases engagement and increases conversion as well. It's just so much easier to internalize, so much easier to digest, right? So that's excuse me, that's another thing you want to do in your welcome emails. You also want social proof, again, in the form of reviews. Now, if you can show reviews and humanize them, show faces, show actual humans with their names, that just absolutely crushes, right? Don't just put a review. I mean, sometimes that's not possible. So, obviously I understand that. And we don't do this every time. But if you can get like an image of the actual person that left the review, 100% do that, right? People love seeing themselves with your product, right? So whatever your ICP is, whether it's, people, corporate office workers, whether it's athletes, it's runners, it's cyclists, it's swimmers, whatever, right? I'm just kind of going off the top here. Try to get a photo of whoever the person that left the review was, whoever your ICP is in that setting, right? So if you're selling running products, get someone who's literally on a run and get a photo of them with maybe a medal around their neck. Just, you know what I mean? Like to kind of set the scene there. And that helps a ton for just increasing trust. You want another call to action section at the end of the email, and you want risk reversals, right? So anything that would sway somebody who was maybe on the fence, you want to show risk reversals, right? 2-year warranty, worldwide shipping, free shipping. If you have like a money back guarantee, show that, right? People love seeing that type of stuff and it helps kind of move the purchase along, right? So yeah, kind of an impromptu video. I'm just trying to think if I forgot anything else. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of just a short video on just design, just what was on the top of my head right now. But yeah, I hope that helped you guys. I kind of rambled there, but yeah, a lot of good points in there. That's kind of what we think about when it comes to actual email design. Oh, one more thing. When it comes to like text-based emails versus graphic-based emails, text-based emails are awesome. And if you see my content, I always talk about text-based emails. Like you should 100% be using them, but make sure that your graphic-based emails and your text-based emails are very different from one another, right? Make sure there's a contrast between them so that when they get a text-based email, it is a big deal and they actually are more inclined to look at it, right? I've seen a lot of brands, and it's not a terrible thing to do this, but in my experience, it just worked better by keeping them really separate. I've seen a lot of brands kind of combine like graphic and text-based emails. They'll have like a graphic designed email, but then they'll have like an about us section and it'll be like a paragraph of text, like massive. And I'm just not a huge fan of those. Like if I'm going to use text and use a lot of text, excuse me, it's only going to be text, right? And it's going to be a stark contrast. It's going to be a white background with black text. If I have any call to action, it's going to be hyperlinked, right? So make sure you're keeping those separate so that, that novelty doesn't wear off of a text-based email. You also don't want to use them too much, but I think I have a whole other video on how to use them and I can make one if I don't, but yeah, I appreciate it, guys. If you want a team to come in, and specifically my team, to come into your e-commerce brand and help you scale and get your email attribution up over 50% with a full refund guarantee, we have full happiness money back guarantees if you're not satisfied for any reason. Click the link in the description to book a call with me, to book a chat with me. We will talk about your brand. It'll be me on the call. It won't be like a sales rep or anything. It'll be me. And we can talk about your brand. I'll do a full audit on the brand for free. And I can run you through projections of where we'd be able to take you and how long it'd take us to do it. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, kind of just like a Not really a planned out video, just kind of started recording. So forgive me if I was kind of all over the place, but yeah, appreciate it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.